Hey guys, Rambling Man, Moto and Drone here. I was going to have one of the mechanics I've been using do a few projects for me, and I got a little free time, so I'm going to try to do one of them myself, and that is to install the reduced reach side stand on the Indian Springfield that I purchased. I'm fine on my Super Chief, but on this bike I feel like I have to move forward, and so I've never done a project like this. I downloaded the instructions off the Indian website, and it sounds like there's one bolt to take out once I put this in the wheel chock, and then you remove the spring, take this off, then replace the spring and put it back. It estimates, I think I'm not making this up, assembly time, approximately 15 minutes. So for me, that would equate usually to about a 3-hour project. Hope that's not gonna happen. And one of the tips I've been seeing people do is they put pennies or small washers in these spring coils to keep it from collapsing when you put it back up. So I'm gonna try that as well, and we'll see how this goes. All right, should be good to go there. So what I'm gonna do is if you look at this extended, I'm gonna go ahead and try to put some coins in here so that when you put it up, you know, it doesn't expand. So I gotta, that's here, I'm gonna remove that. And I gotta get a light and make sure I'm looking at that correctly. So that's what we're gonna do. Just going over the Indian instructions, you know, place motorcycle upright position on a flat level surface. We got that. With the front wheel secured, got that. Remove the side stand bolt A using a 6mm hex key socket while holding the nut B using the 15mm wrench. This is what I'm reading from here. Once nut is removed, rotate the side stand downward slightly. Grasp the shank near the foot and pull away. And what I'm finding are the pennies are a bit thick and that dimes are a better fit, but I have more pennies than dimes. Some weird Canadian thing I think I found in a drawer. It's Canadian? Something else, I don't know, but might have to go rummaging to see if I can find a few more dimes. Well guys, I guess I'm going to admit my failures so you guys can give me some advice. I ended up breaking one of the adapters. You know, this job was to remove a single bolt. That's all I had to do, was get under there, and there's a bolt, and you hold the head here while you go at a 6mm, and it snapped off. I can't get it to loosen. I've tried different size sockets, ratchets rather. You know, sometimes I get a little turnaround of, you know, lefty-loosey, righty-tighty when you're working on something that's underneath. And so I was trying to make sure I'm going the right way. Maybe there's a trick to that, but, you know, I got on my back and was looking, and okay, here's how I would do that. and I can't get it loose. And I'm afraid I'm going to strip it. So I don't know if I'm at a stopping point where I just end up letting this guy handle it for me. This is what I mean, a simple 15-minute project, and I can't get a single bolt removed from under here. It's just right there. And I've already broke one piece trying to get it off. Well, I'm embarrassed to admit I was about to just give up and go inside. And I decided instead of this shorter wrench, I went with my longer wrench to hold the nut, and it came off in 10 seconds. So I'm about to take out that bolt and then see if I can use this spring trick. Here's the part that we were pulling out of there. Let's see if I can get that clearer. That's what it looks like. Hopefully I didn't do any major damage there. And then we've got the nut. I left the side stand actually in the house, so I'm gonna go get that. But I'm also gonna see if I can do this spring trick. All right guys, just showing you. This is the side stand I just took off. And here we go. This is the side stand I just took off. And this is the new side stand. It's got a, slightly different shape. And, there was mixed reviews on this thing, whether it helped. One person said their wife uses this one and loves it. So I held it up before I took the old one off. And I could see a difference, but we'll see. And this is what I did with the spring, and we're gonna put it back on. All right. Now I trust you guys who know what you're doing are gonna laugh at me, but for the life of me, I cannot figure out how to get this back on. I've tried putting the spring first, but then I can't get the stand and the bolt connected. Then I tried putting the bolt together first, but then I can't get the spring in. The instructions basically obviously say just reverse. Installation was the reverse of removal. Well, the spring came off last. So I've tried to do that first. And so I'm kind of stuck here. I'm gonna try it a little bit more. Obviously I've not been filming everything, but I've been out here for about 45 minutes, going on an hour on this stupid little project. Guys, I'm back out here with this spring the next morning, and the lesson I learned on the coin trick was you're supposed to put coins on both sides of the spring. I did them only coming out or going in one side, and I watched a video where a guy said that he cautioned and said put them in on both, or otherwise it'll curl up like a banana. And that's exactly what happened in my situation. And I ordered off Amazon last night, got here at about 7:30 this morning, a spring pulling tool. I'm gonna try this to get this spring on. It's Ram the Man Moto and Drone here on a previously rainy day. It was raining all morning. It's a Sunday here. So I'm riding my bike to my mechanic guy. So I tried to install the reduced reach side stand on my own. Had a little trouble getting it off, which was, probably my fault. And then I had tried the coin trick on the spring, but didn't realize you needed to put the springs on both sides. So it ended up curling up like a banana, and it was of no help to me. We tried using a screwdriver. I tried bending it, which is kind of hard with my hands. I got a little bit of arthritis, I think, in my hands. And my wife was trying to put the coins in for me while I bent it. And, we got one or two in, but we couldn't get them all in. And I ordered a spring pulling tool off Amazon. That didn't make hardly any movement in the spring. So if I had a vise to hold one end where I could get a little more leverage, but I don't.
I have a gun cleaning kit that has a cheap vise on it, but it's not meant for this sort of pressure. It's not a real vise. And I'm gonna have this guy was gonna do my heated grips for me anyway. That project is not too involved, but for me, I mean, something as simple as this side stand turned into a longer project. When you read the Indian download manual for the grips, it says a 15, for the side stand, the instruction said a 15-minute project. And an hour later, I was still dealing with, well, I got the old one off in about 30 minutes. So with the heated grips, I just can't imagine. You know, at least this gets me out riding anyway. I wanted to take a ride anyway. So I'm gonna drop this bike off with him. I'm curious how many guys out there, riders, not just the guys, but riders that, you know, do you own more than one bike? Like in my situation, I sold my Scout to buy my Super Chief. But I've kept my Super Chief Limited when I bought this one. And I haven't ridden my Super Chief in over a month since I got this one. I'm just wondering how many of you do keep a bike like that. After I get this reduced reach side stand wrapped up and the heated grips, I think I'm about done with the project list on this bike. I do need to maybe order a Freedom Shield for the times where I may want a windshield on here. The one that I have that came with it when I bought it used is too tall and too dark. I showed it in one of the videos. I could have gotten around the too tall part, maybe, but it's just so dark. I don't even see how the other guy used it, and he must have ridden only during the day. Bright sunny days at that. I guess I should mention right now I don't have a side stand on my bike, so I could not get that spring in place, and this guy was going to work on my he was actually going to do this job, and I decided to try to do it myself. I have learned a lesson, but for right now the side stand is in my saddlebag with the other hardware. So because I'm riding without a side stand, I decided to just put a little gas in the garage at home into the bike. I guess one other thing I do need to actually buy is probably the fork wind deflectors. Indian doesn't seem to have them in stock, or they're not making them anymore. But most people buy from this one company, and I bought from that company too for my Super Chief Limited. Honestly can't tell if they make a huge difference, but right now I've got a ton of wind and I'll take any incremental. I think the company that makes the ones people buy says they eliminate up to 40%. It's 4-0, so they're not like promising it's going to be 100% by any means, but even 40% when you combine it with maybe a windshield. Is an improvement. So with this new exhaust that I have on here, you can definitely hear it at this speed that I'm holding steady, whereas the other one, the stock exhaust, you could not. And I know some people don't like that constant drone. To me, I do like it. I like to hear how the engine's running. To me, to be on it and not hear the bike is kind of well, then you're just hearing wind. By the way, I turned off my cylinder deactivation to see if that made the message stop. I don't really look down too often, but sometimes I go back and watch it on GoPro. I think this is the first time I've ridden it since I cut it off.